I feel like you gotta make everything in this video, but especially make this little situation too good, okay? This is so good. It's great. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here. This week I wanted to record a week's worth of dinners and I'm really excited to make them. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to check out the rest of my videos because I have so much inspiration from breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, what I eat in a day, what I eat in a week, vlogs as well. And speaking of vlogs, I did see some requests on my last video because I did ask, like, you know, what type of content should I share more of? And I saw some requests for the vlogs. I did used to do vlogs, so I think I might pick that back up because we've been doing so much in Seattle. I post some of it on my TikTok, so if you're not following me on my other social media channels, be sure to do so. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. On TikTok, I tend to post more food, lifestyle, and just like on a regular basis, whereas over on Instagram, I tend to just post food, honestly. Also, this is something I've been putting in the comments section of my videos in the past, but if you are here as a way to support me, please don't skip the ads, at least the ones that are short. Like, don't skip those. I know that they have some that are very long, but the ads are ways that YouTube compensates the creators. By watching those ads, you are in turn supporting me, so I just want to say thank you in advance. I put this in the comment section on the past few videos and there are so many people who didn't realize that that was a thing. And people were telling me, like, you know, I'm watching the ads, thank you for letting me know. So I just wanted to mention that in the video versus just putting it in the comment section. So yeah, let's keep going with the video. If you've been here, you know I am good for making a taco, a taquito, or a good old plate of nachos. I just really love crunchy food. So with that being said, we're making taquitos for dinner. I've made these at least 3 times in the last 2 weeks because I just enjoy them so much. And it's a great way to get your fiber in, your protein in. They're just great. I filled these taquitos with red bell peppers, green bell peppers, and some diced onions, baby bella mushrooms, and some plant-based grounds. Actually, speaking of plant-based grounds, you know what I haven't made in a while? My mushroom and walnut meat. I need to make that again soon and throw some pea protein crumbles in there for some extra protein. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But okay, back to this meal. I cooked up the peppers, onions, mushrooms, and plant-based grounds with the taco seasoning blend that I put together using just some spices that I have on hand. I've been making my own seasoning blends with the spices and it's just made cooking so much easier. But I'll have to show you how I put those together one of these days. When I was making these, I completely forgot that I had some black beans in the pantry and I was supposed to use them here. I didn't realize it until later in the week that they were in the pantry, but I ended up using them in another recipe, which you'll see in this video. But the taquitos were still delicious, so it was okay. So I wrapped that filling with a corn tortilla and I used a toothpick to hold them together. Sprayed them generously with olive oil just to ensure that they got crispy in the oven because that's what we need. I baked them in the oven on 400 degrees until they were crispy, and I served them with a dairy-free sour cream, avocado salsa, a plant-based queso, and I'll put the brands that I use in the description. Also in the description is going to be a link to this free grocery list that I put together, which has all of my go-to and must-have items for a plant-based kitchen, and I also share some of my favorite brands, so that'll be in the description as well. Sorry if you can hear my dishwasher, but I just dug into the first one. It is amazing. So delicious. Hey guys, I'm about to make dinner, but I was just about to make myself a quick little appetizer. So I have some sauerkraut that I'm about to snack on like while I cook. But today is Tuesday, and for dinner, I really wanted to make a plant-based Rasta pasta. I have this protein pasta that I'm really excited to use. I just got it in the mail. I ordered it off Amazon. It's only like 2 ingredients and I'm gonna use that as my source of protein and carbs today. Here is the sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut so much. It's good and it's good for you. I'm actually getting started on dinner a bit early today. Early being earlier than usual. I don't know what it is. If it's the sun going down later, our new place being more well lit. I have been eating dinner pretty late and I want to stop that. So I'm looking forward to actually eating food earlier today. Let's get started with meal number 2 for this video. So as mentioned, on this day, we are making a plant-based Rasta pasta, and y'all, this was a 10 out of 10. I know I mentioned that I used a protein pasta that I ordered from Amazon. I added that to my Amazon storefront, so that link will also be in the description. Honestly, you can find all my links there, links to my website, my recipes, my cookware, my social channels, all the things. So just be sure to check that out. But if you plan to make the recipes that I'm sharing in this video, just go ahead and stock up on bell peppers, because while I was editing this, I was thinking to myself, girl, you are cooking with these peppers like you own a pepper garden, because this Rasta pasta is loaded with peppers and other goodness like red onions, garlic, green onions. And so after cooking the peppers, garlic, and onions, I added in a can of unsweetened coconut milk. I actually use light coconut milk for just personal preferences, but I know that most Rasta pasta recipes encourage you to use full fat unsweetened coconut milk, but I decided to stick with the light coconut milk and then just add a bit of the dairy-free cream cheese to help with the consistency, and it really got the job done. And just continue to stir that until the dairy-free cream cheese is combined well into this dish. Now, since this is a Rasta pasta, we are going to add even more flavor to this. I also added in black pepper, a mild jerk sauce, thyme, paprika, and some garlic powder. Now, most Rasta pasta recipes call for cheese, but two things. One, I didn't have any plant-based cheese on hand, and I really didn't feel like using any of the store-bought plant-based cheese, so I just used nutritional yeast instead, and it worked well. And so after I combined everything, I wanted this to thicken up a bit, so I just reduced the heat to low and allowed this to simmer for a bit. I realized I completely forgot about the green onions, so I just threw those in there afterwards, but it ended up working out because this pasta was everything and more. I just gave that pasta a taste test and it is so delicious. I can't wait to eat. So like I said, I already tasted it, but it is really delicious. This, so delicious. Y'all, so far I am 2 for 2. This is so good. Hello. For dinner today, I really wanted to make a plant-based take on cashew chicken, but I'll be using tofu, so cashew tofu. I looked at a few recipes on how cashew chicken is made, and I realized I don't have everything, but I have some things. So we're gonna improvise, which is where I thrive, okay? I love improvising, and I always encourage other people to improvise as well. So for any of the meals that you see in this video, if you don't have everything that you possibly need, there is no need to run out to the grocery store. Just try to improvise, get on Google, look up what can I substitute for this ingredient. That is what cooking is all about, making it your own, and that's what we're about to do today. Oh yeah, and I had some of that jerk pasta for lunch today. So delicious even the next day. Make sure you give that one a try, but let's go ahead and get into dinner tonight. So typically this is a dish where people combine chicken, cashews, veggies, and a thick sauce, but instead I'm using extra firm tofu. I've shared this before, but whenever I want to make tofu crispy, I freeze it. So I just freeze it right in the pack, and then I let it thaw out, and then I squeeze the excess moisture out of it. This changes the texture, and it really allows the tofu to absorb much more of the flavor, and then it also helps make it a bit more firm. I've seen some videos where people boil the tofu, and that's supposed to be an even better hack than the freezing method. I'm gonna try it one day, but I haven't. And if you have, let me know in the comments if it's worked out for you. But this time around, I just broke the tofu up into bite-sized pieces. I added some coconut aminos, followed by a bit of cornstarch, and I just just let that sit while I prepped my sauce. Now, as I mentioned, I didn't have all the ingredients that you would typically use in a cashew tofu dish or cashew chicken type of dish. So I improvised and I used hoisin sauce, which has a tangy, salty, and to me, a semi-sweet taste. I added coconut aminos, which is a soy sauce substitute, some rice vinegar, chili crunch. I also added warm water and cornstarch, and that's just to help thicken the sauce once we cook it on the stove. And I typically bake my tofu on like 390 to 400 degrees in the oven, but if you have an air fryer, you can also put it in the air fryer on 390 degrees for about 12 minutes or so. But in the oven, I bake it for about 30 minutes. So while that was going, I brought out the bell peppers and onions because, like I said, that's clearly all I had this week. And I just cut those into chunks. At this point, I remember that garlic and ginger are key ingredients for the sauce that's typically used, but because I ran all out of my fresh garlic and I didn't have any ginger, I just used my garlic powder and ground ginger. And again, we're making do with what we have, okay? Next, it was just time to cook up the veggies. So with this being a cashew tofu, you are probably wondering, okay girl, when do the cashews come in? And this is where. I just mixed a handful of cashews in a bit of spray olive oil, and then I added that to a baking sheet with the tofu. This was after the tofu had been cooking for about 20-ish minutes or so, because I didn't want the cashews to burn. So I decided to wait until the tofu had about 10 more minutes left. And once the tofu finishes in the oven, the final step is just to combine everything and enjoy. I didn't add much salt aside from like the coconut aminos, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some now. It looks really good and I'm so excited. It smells amazing. My house smells incredible. So let's give this a quick taste test. I do wish I would have remembered to, well, I want to actually get a piece of the cashew on here too. But yeah, I do wish I would have remembered to add the basil in while it was cooking, but it's okay. So this is what we're working with. That basil, if you make this, do not forget the basil. Don't forget the basil, because I might just chop up some basil and put it on top of here. I love me some basil. But yeah, this is great. I'm so glad that I didn't let the fact that I didn't have all the ingredients stop me from making it, because I would have been missing out. Where's some more basil? I need more basil. This is delicious. Okay, so it's Thursday and it is time to make dinner. I just had a random craving for like loaded fries. I have a sweet potato here, so we're gonna make loaded sweet potato fries. Listen, I love a good french fry situation. Well, in this case, sweet potato fries. So after cutting up these sweet potatoes and giving them an ice bath to help them crisp up, though they didn't really get as crispy as I wanted them to, I think the next time that I make these, I'm going to toss them in a bit of cornstarch. What do you think? Let me know if you have any tips on how to get sweet potato fries crispy without deep frying them, because I did bake these. Anyway, so after prepping the sweet potato fries, I cooked up my veggies, my plant-based grounds, and honestly, that was really all I needed to do for this meal, and I'm glad because your girl was tired this day. And for the plant-based grounds, I actually combined that with a bit of my fava bean tofu, and then I just seasoned it up with the basic seasonings like garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, cumin, and I want to say salt and pepper, and that was it. Been over here jamming, but y'all, I'm about to tear these loaded fries up, honey, okay? The sweet potatoes are almost done in the oven. I feel so greasy right now. Oh my gosh. I warmed up some plant-based queso. Let me show you which one it is. This is the one that I'm using. It's from the brand Credo. I really like it. I'm trying to remember what the ingredients are. Water. It is cashew based, so if anybody is allergic to cashews, I'm sorry. But yeah, so it's cashews, green chilies, lemon juice, nutritional yeast, vinegar, sea salt, seasonings, and that's mainly it. I feel like I can make it, but we're not doing that today. So I'm about to put these together because our sweet potatoes are almost done. I can't wait to dig in. Let's eat. All right, let's eat. Time to give this a taste test, okay? Like, we know, I mean, can you really mess up loaded fries? It's great. Another one. Make this. We made it to the end of the week, and of course, it is time for dinner. I'm opening up a can of chickpeas because today I wanted to make like a honestly, I really wanted to make my creamy harissa butter beans because people are still making it and still commenting on that video. And I looked at it again. I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. But I was like, you know what? Switch it up. Don't do the same thing again. It's okay. Don't do the same thing again. So instead, I decided to take this lonely can of chickpeas that I had in the pantry and do like a creamy Tuscan chickpea dish. I'm so excited. I have some quinoa that I prepped for the week, and that's what I'm gonna enjoy it with. I'm really excited. This is gonna be simple but delicious, which is what I enjoy most. So let's go ahead and get into dinner. I'm about to drain these, cut up my veggies, and get to cooking. So after making this, I realized that this ended up being my take on Marry Me chickpeas. Tuscan chickpeas and Marry Me chickpeas are essentially the same thing. And I can't believe I haven't made this dish before because when I tell you it was so good, listen. But I'm really glad that I did make it because I got to enjoy it throughout the weekend. So I just started out by dicing up some red onions. I shredded my last bit of dino kale for the week. And then I took some cherry tomatoes and just halved those. These were honestly on their last leg as well, but that's what these type of meals are perfect for. Just kind of grabbing items from your refrigerator and using them up. I would have added garlic to this, but again, I ran all out and I made a conscious decision not to go to the grocery store again. I wanted to wait until I got to go to the farmer's market on Saturday. After that, I sauteed the onions until they were tender with a few crispy bits. I added in those drained and rinsed chickpeas, the sun-dried tomatoes, along with some of that oil. That oil just adds a whole nother layer of flavor to the dish. So if you cook with oil, I would definitely recommend adding that to it. I gave that a good mix and then I added my seasoning. So, you know, good old faithful salt and black pepper, but not too much, you know, just keep it light. And then if you want to add more salt and pepper at the end, then you can do so after everything has cooked up. I added garlic powder, smoked paprika, and then a Greek seasoning blend that I had, but you can also do this with Italian seasonings if that's what you have on hand. Now for the creaminess aspect of this dish, I use unsweetened original almond milk. Be sure to get unsweetened original almond milk. I know sometimes you'll go to the store, you'll just buy original almond milk thinking that it's not sweet, but it is, okay? So make sure you get unsweetened. And then I added more of my dairy-free cream cheese. As you can tell, a lot of these meals I've made this week call for similar ingredients, meaning by the end of the week, you would have used up most of the items from the grocery list that you made at the beginning of the week, if you decide to make all of these. I also added in nutritional yeast, which honestly is a must for quite a few of my recipes. Also added in some vegetable broth, and really the last thing to do here is to let everything simmer. This is so good. Listen, I feel like you gotta make everything in this video, but especially make this if you just have 1 can of chickpeas and you don't know what to do with it. Make this. Dinner is served. This little situation, too good, okay? Please make this. It's so comforting. Reminds me of like a good Sunday dinner. But yeah, this is delicious. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you got inspiration from all these meals. Be sure to check the description box for links to the recipes, to my cookware, Amazon storefront, all the things. I really do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.